Join me in learning Chitas for Tuesday, the third Torah reading of Parshas Chayei Sara, chapter 24, verse 10. Yesterday we learned as Eliezer, the servant of Avram, is swearing to his master Avram that he will go find a woman from his original birthplace, Haran, to bring home for a wife for Yitzchak. Today, we are going to learn as the servant goes on his way to follow the mission and the promise that he made to his master. Verse 10, Vayikach Eved Asar Gemalim, and the servant now takes 10 camels, Migmali Adonov, from his master's camels. Vayelech, and he went. V'chol tuv Adonov biyadei, and all the wealth of his master was with him in his hand. Vayokam, and he got up, Vayelech, and he went, Al Aram Naraim, to Aram Naraim, Al Ir Nachar, the city of Nachar, Avram's brother, where he had settled. Rashi, verse 10. Mikmali Adonov, his master's camels, Nikarin Hayu. The reason why he specifies and says clearly was his master's camels, because one can recognize and identify Mishar Gemalim, they look different than any other camel. Shall use Yoitzim's Mumim because they went muzzled. Mipnei Hagezel, that they shouldn't pasture in other people's fields and they shouldn't steal. Shleyiru b'steis acherim, not to pasture in other people's fields. The Chol Tuva Ridoinov biyadi, and all the wealth of his master in his hand. How is it possible for him to carry all Avram's wealth? Shtar Matana Kosav, Avram wrote a document which in it stated that everything that he owned was given to Yitzchak Kol Ashaloi. This way, whoever they meet, the girl should be excited, the woman should be interested, and come quickly l'shleach bitam, to send their child, their daughter, to marry Yitzchak. He gave this document to Eliezer, so thereby, having all Avram's wealth was in Eliezer's hand. Aram Naraim, why was the place called Aram Naraim? Ben Shtei Naharis, Yeshavas was sitting between two rivers. Verse 11. And Eliezer comes there and he made the camels kneel outside the city, El Be'er HaMoyim, by the well that was near the city, entrance of the city, La'es Erev, in evening time. Tzeis Shashayeva is the time when the woman would go out to draw the water. Vayavrich Egmalim, Rashi says, here beats them. He made them kneel so they should sit down. Verse 12. Vayoymar, and he said, Hashem Elikei Adoni Avram, God, the master of Avram, Hakri nolofonai hayoim, make this event, grant me a favor that it should happen for me, grant that this event should happen for me today. V'asei chesed, and do a favor, Madoni Avram, with your master Avram. Verse 13, Hine anechi nitzav, behold, I am standing aleina moyim at the spring of water. Ubenoi sanche yair, and the daughters of the townsmen are coming, Yitzais are coming out, Lishev moyim, to draw water. Verse 14. And it will be to the maiden whom I will say, Hatino kadich, please tilt your pitcher, ve'eshte, so that I can drink. Ve'amra, and she will say to me, Shisei, drink, ve'gam gam alecha eshka, and also I will give your camels to drink. Oisa hechachta, that is the one that you have designated, that you have proven to be la'avdechal Yitzchak, for your servant Yitzchak. Uva and this is the way I will know, ki asisa chesed, that you have done kindness im adoi, me with my master. Rashi, verse 14. Oisai chachta, how are you going to prove it? Being gru'uya hiloi, she's worthy to be Yitzchak, she gemeles chasadim, because she's kind. Ukadai hi likonis bevesha shel Avram, and she's worthy to come into the home of Avram. Lashon hechachta, the word hechachta means birarta. You have clarified it for me. You have proven aprubisht bilaz, an old French aprubisht. Ba'ida, this way I will know. How is he going to know? Lashon tchina, he's asking of God. Hoida liba, please make me known for me that this will be the girl that is charitable, and therefore she should be the one that is generous and come to Avram's home. Ki asisa chesed, if she'll be from the family of Avram, and she'll be appropriate for him. I will know ki asisa chesed, that you have done kindness and found Yitzchak his match. The Torah now continues with verse 15. He who terem kila l'daber, and he hasn't not yet even finished talking. V'hine Rivka Yotzes, and Rebecca already came out. Asher Yulda l'Psuel, that was born to Pesuel ben Milka, the son of Milka, Ishes Nachar, the wife of Nachar, Achi Avram, the brother of Avram. The Chada al Shichma, she came out holding a pitcher on her shoulder. 15, Besula. I'm sorry, that's verse 16. Verse 16, the Torah continues. V'hanayra tevas mara miyoid. The maiden was very beautiful, very in appearance. The ish, and she was a psula, she was a virgin. Ish la yada, she has not been known to a man. V'ateired ha'aina, and she went down to the spring. V'temali chada, she filled her pitcher. V'to'al, and she came back up. Rashi asks an obvious, what does it mean? Question. Rashi mentions here, psula. What does it mean, psula? Meaning came psulim. This is the terminology that a virgin, that she has never been with another man. The ish lo yada, ekshaloi kedarka, lefisha b'nei sagoyim mishamrim smekayim besuleyan, umafkiris atzma mimakim acher. Heid al zu shenekia mekel. Why does he make a double terminology, saying that she was a virgin, but at the same time saying no man has known her? If she was a virgin, then of course no man has known her. So Rashi tells us that it was at the time the nations of the world wanted to retain their virginity, so therefore they would still be with men, but in a way that they can retain their virginity. Therefore he says that in this case, she was a woman, that she was never with any other person. She did not make herself available for other people, and she was clean and ready and holy from all angles. Verse 17. Vayara to Eved likrasa, and the servant ran towards her. Vayomer, and he said, Hagmi'ini not mayim, would you be kind enough and give me some little bit of sipper of water, mikadech, from your pitcher. 17, Rashi. Why did he run towards her if he didn't see the sign? She didn't offer it to him. Because he saw the fisharosh olamayim. He saw as she went to the spring, the water came up to her. Likrasa, to greet her, and that was the miracle. Therefore he asks, Agbina means lashin gemia. Can you pour me some water? Verse 18. Vatomer, and she said, stay Adoni, please drink, my master. Vatamar, and she hurried up. Vatoyret kada, and she lowered her pitcher. Al yada, on her hand. Vatashkeo, and she gave him to drink. Vatoyret kada, what does it mean? She lowered her pitcher. Me'al shichma, because the pitcher was on her shoulder, and she lowered it and gave him to drink. And that's the way people used to carry water, was on their shoulders. Verse 20. Verse 19. And she finished giving him to drink. Vatomer, and she said, Gam legamalecha eshav, I will also draw water for your camels. Adim kilu lishtais, until they have drunk to their fill as well. Adasham kilu, verse 19. Harei im shamish balashin er. The word adashar kilu means that also as if, until they will have enough to drink. Im kilu. What is the word im over here? So Onkelos explains that the word's disipkun, that they had enough to drink. How do I know that they're finished drinking? When they drink enough, then they stop drinking. And they had enough to drink. Verse 20. Vatemaher, and she quickly, Vata'ar kada, emptied her jug, elashekes, into the trough. Vatarat edalaber, and she ran back to the well, lishef, to draw more water. Vatishav l'chol gemalov, and she kept on drawing water for all his men and his camels as well. Rashi, what does the word vata'ar mean? Loshin nefitza, emptying. V'harbe yesh b'loshin Mishnah. We have this very many times during the Mishnah. Hama'ar mekli likli, if somebody empties from one vessel to another vessel. Umamikra yesh leidema, and we also find it similar in the verse al ta'ar nafshi in Tehillim, Psalm 141. Don't empty, don't pour out your soul to me. Asher her elamavis nafshay, or in Isaiah, that he poured out his soul for death. Hashekes, the shekes means the trough. Evan chalula, the way they used to have it was, there was an empty stone. Chashesim by agmalim, they would fill up an empty stone with water, and then the camels would bend over and drink from it. Verse 21. Va'ish mishtoi, the man wondered, la, about her, macharish. He wasn't sure. He was silently thinking, ladas, to know, hayitzliach Hashem darkei, did God make his journey successful, imloi, or not? Verse 21, Rashi, Mishtae comes from the word Lashon Shia, emptiness. Kemoi, Sha'u Orim, where the cities were empty. Tishae Shemama, it was desolate. Mishtae, what does it mean in this case, Mishtae? Rashi tells us, Mishtaimim umispahel. He was like dumbfounded. He was wondering. He wasn't sure. Al Shira Devare, because he saw, Kariv Letzlich, he saw that his mission was about to be successful. Havel, but he had one problem. He sees everything so far, all the boxes are checked. She's giving him the water, the camels are getting water, but there's one problem. He doesn't know her family lineage. Don't you ask the question of why is there a tough in the word mishta'eh? Like there's misparech, misalech, why is there this tough there? So Rashi explains to us why. There is no word that starts off with a shin and then is in a mispa'el. That a tav should be able to separate from the root word and then give it that terminology. Kigoin mishta'eh, like the word we have here, mishta'eh. Or you also have mishtailel, migizras, shailol. The word mishtailol and the root word is shailol. Vayishtemeim, the word vayishtemeim comes from the root word shemama. Vayishtamer comes from the word vayishtamer chukis amri migizras vayishmer. So too over here, mishta'eh, the word mishta'eh comes from the word tisha'eh. So Rashi explains why over here is the grammar differently. It's just like you find the word meshemim, that a person gets confused, he's dumbfounded when a person sees, and he has a lot of thoughts and he doesn't know what to do. On the day of the punishment, Eov says, when the people were punished, they didn't know what to do. Or we find that Jeremiah uses the terminology, shoyim hu shamayim, calling out to heaven, you should be dumbfounded, you should be worried. Or Daniel uses the terminology that he was quiet out of confusion. Kach defarish. So too you can explain it here. Lashon she'iyah, ka'adam bol al machshavis, like he's confused, like a person is worried. He's not sure. He has so many thoughts going through him. From Unklas Targum, and Unklas the Targum says lashon she'iyah, like he was waiting. V'gavra shoy, the man was waiting to see. He was waiting to see, did God actually make his way successful? Well, the Targum do not translate it as shasei, as drinking. The word mishtay in the lashon tziyah doesn't have nothing to do with drinking. The aleph is not going on the less part of the word shasiyah, and therefore Rashi explains to us over here when we have this word mishtay, though it may be unique, the way the actual verbiage of the word is, as we know that in Hebrew there are 7 different ways how each word can be. As we know, there's Shiva Po'alim. One of them is Hispa'el, and therefore we have over here Mishta'e, Mispa'el, and that's the terminology that it's put with the tuf in this case, and it means wondering. Mishta'ela, Mishta'imim. He was wowed by her. He wasn't sure what was going on. Kimoi, for example, Imrli Achihu, say that he is my brother. When it's talking about somebody, it still has the word la, but it really means Allah, on her. The Torah continues now, verse 22. And when the camels finished drinking, and the man took a nose ring, which was beka mishkale, which was weighing a beka, ushnei tzmidim, and 2 gold bracelets, al yadeh, and put it on her hand. Asar asav mishkalam, the bracelets weighed 10 gold shekel. Rashi, verse 22. Beka, why a beka? Remaz, this was a hint, l'shikli Yisrael, beka l'gulgelis, that the Jewish people eventually will give a beka per person per head for the machatzis shekel, for the half coin in the desert. Ushnei tzmidim, remez, these 2 bracelets were alluding to the 2 luches, the 2 tablets, mitzubondes, that were next to each other in the ark and exactly the same size. Asar zav mishkalim, the 10 was 10 zav, 10 gold coins was its weight, weighing total gold shekel. Remez asar sadibris, this was alluding to the 10 commandments which were on the 2 tablets. shebahen, that were engraved within the two tablets. Verse 23. Vayomer, and he says to her, Bas mi'at, you're a daughter of whom? Hagidinala, tell me, please. Hayesh beis avich makim lanu lanu, does your father have place for me to spend the night? Verse 23, Rashi says, seemingly something here is troubling. Why does he only ask her who she is after he gives her the gifts? He only gives it to her after he only asked her who she is after he gives her the gifts. Because he was guaranteed, he was sure, that in the merit of Avram, that God made him successful in his journey. Lalin, to sleep. Lina achas, just one night. Lin, shem davar. Lin is the noun. Vihi amra, and she said, lalun, to sleep over, kamalinas, a few nights. So you see over here the terminology that he was asking to sleep only one night. She then in turn said a few. Verse 24. And she said, Bas Psul Anochi, I'm the daughter of Psul ben Mulka, the son of Nilka, Asher Yolda leNachar, that was born to Nachar. Verse 24, you can see how Rivka answers on the first question first and second question second. Bas Pesuel Hashivis al Rishon Rishon Nachar first she says who she is, and then in the next verse, as we see in verse 25, she responds, and she says to him, Gam Teven, we have plenty of straw, Gam Mispay, and plenty of fodder. Rav, we have plenty of it. Imanu, we have Gamokim London, and a place to sleep not only one night but many nights. Mispay, what's the difference between straw and mispay? Kol machalak malam koreg. Mispay, any fodder for the camel was called mispay. Teven usairim, not only straw but also barley. Verse 26. Vayikay da'ish vayishtachol Hashem. The man kneeled, bowed, and to Hashem, thanking God that he finally got his answers prayer. This concludes the Torah reading for the third day, Tuesday, Parshas Chayei Sara.